ain't shit flowing.
Hey there guys, welcome back to RuneScape 3 Ironmain Mode Episode 3. This week we're going to be going over a lot of stuff. I've been bossing, I've been doing a lot of Slayer, I'm going to go over my BankTab, and even a big surprise, so stay tuned.
Alright guys, here we go. We're getting ready to have our first QBD kill.
That was a good trip, but not as good as what's up next. I decided I'd finally go and finish it out all at once. And so, without further ado, we have we have received 99 in every skill, which means now we are going to be able to buy the Maxcape. Well, I'm recording technically, but what do you think about me maxing in RuneScape?
I think you should sell the game and become an adult.
I don't think that's a good idea.
But
It's against the rules.
it's your game, and if you want to do it, I think. Congratulations.
It
You spend those 10 years.
took 10 years and over a year of in-game time.
Glad I could spend that money on it.
And here is our first duplicate. We get a Royal Sight again, which isn't bad because we can use it to add 25% to our completed Royal Crossbow once it's completed, so that's going to be pretty cool later on. Our second piece, the Royal Frame, comes 2 after my last one, which means we are 2 out of 4 complete. As a little update to my schedule, we will be recording every day from 6 until midnight, and then on Saturday, which is today, I will be editing and finalizing the video so I can release it every Sunday. Hopefully then I can get into a schedule and get everything up to date, and I won't have to stress about when I will be able to get videos out. So with that said, I'm going to be finishing up recording now, and then finishing editing now, and hopefully you will be seeing this tomorrow, which is the 2nd. One thing I did want to bring up is an edit to the rules. Not completely changing the game, not trying to change what the core ideology of Ironmain is, but now that I've gotten the Maxcape, I've been thinking about a few things. I have certain abilities, since I am a main account, that many Ironmen do not have. And while I would love to not use a few of these items, it feels like I'd be severely limiting myself or just wasting tons of time that I've spent in the game to do such things. So the first thing I'd like to ask is, should I be able to use Lucky Armadillo, Lucky Bandos, Lucky Subjugation? I have almost every item in the game that is lucky. I choose so far not to use them, but they are on my account and it seems like a waste not to. But at the same time, I can see how it could be a little bit overpowered if I'm using these tier 70s when I don't even have tier 70s yet. Now, at the same time, I'm using weapons and such that I wouldn't normally have, such as a crystal bow, which cost me 1 million gold, but for any other Iron Man, you'd have to go through the roving elves quest. But I just wanted to think of a better way to implement these. Maybe have a monetary supplement to it. Maybe it's, 1 mil, 2 mil. Maybe I could even add some stipulation, like 100 kills at Armadillo, and I can use the lucky Armadillo pieces, 100 kills at Zamorak for the subjugation, and so on. The next thing I wanted to ask about was Chaotix. I do have a lucky Chaotic offhand, but it does cost 2 million gold to repair it, so it's not free whatsoever. The problem with that being, I got all of the points needed before I maxed. So I have these points that I didn't gain from Ironmain, and I'm wondering if I should be able to use that as well. Lastly, I do have a few items such as the Spring Cleaner and the Silverhawk boots. I wanted to know, since the Spring Cleaner here is very useful for Slayer, if I should be able to use it, and not only just use it, but also should I be able to buy more springs as I go along in the series. My original consensus was, yes, I should be able to. They're 4k per spring, so it's not free in the slightest. But also, I want to know your guys' opinions on it. I'm going to be doing a wheel decide to figure out what I'm going to be doing up until then, just so I have some basis, because this video won't be out for another few days. But once the video does come out, I want you guys to tell me if you think that it's a good idea or a bad idea. Alright, let's see which one it picks for us. Alright, so for right now, I'm going to be using my dungeon tokens, my lucky items, and my spring cleaners. That is until I get some answers on the comments. But I don't see any problem with it right now. At worst, I could always just not use it in the future.
If you guys remember from episode 1, when I first started, I had over 2,000 overloads, and also 2,000 adrenaline potions. But I decided that those were a little bit overpowered, so what I decided to do instead was to completely disassemble them all. Which I got powerful components for, which helped me max anyway, so that was a good thing anyway. But what that means now is I'm going to have to do a lot of herb lore. And to do a lot of herb lore, that means I have to have herb lore tabs.
So, now that I've done a bit of QBD, I definitely have enough herbs to start out my herb lore tab. I'm very adamant about having a very clean herb lore tab, especially because once it gets later game and you need all your potions, you can't be spending 20 minutes looking for each and every single item you need. So what I have here is going to be attack, strength, range, mage, defense, and then my Sarah and restores right here. And then underneath each of my supers is going to be my extremes. That way I can keep it intact whenever I need to make my overloads. I personally take a lot of pride in keeping a clean bank. I run the cleaning service over on Reddit/BankTabs. If you want to check that out, that will be in the description. I do have a pretty busy schedule, so I get to them as I can in the order that I can, but I always try and get to everything if I can. The best way to clean up your herb lore tab is to start splitting up potions. So you see here that I have a bunch of super defense 2, but no 1 and no 3. What I can actually do is take out some extra vials and split them up. Have one of each of these, and I can put it in here. So now I have a 1 and a 3. Now this goes against my natural nature, in which I like to reduce the amount of items in the bank. But in this case, when it comes to an herb lore tab, it really does not affect overall if you have more or less items in it, because they're all useful. What I will start doing is taking the food out of my tab here, putting that into a separate tab.
Today I'd just like to give a shout out to Jumplove, who has been a great friend and has been supporting me for quite a while, and also to Underfletch, who as well has been a great friend, but is the main inspiration for me doing any of this series stuff. He has a great Ironman series. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead and check him out. I'll be linking it in the description. But he definitely is just great at what he does, and he showed me the fun of playing this game. So definitely check him out.
So since it's getting kind of late, I'm thinking I might actually go to some giant mole. Nothing to do with any good reason. I just think that I haven't done Giant Mole in a while, and it really helped to get some of these aerodynamic boosts kind of kicked out early so I can start using them for Raxor later on. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. This has been Ironmain Mode Episode 3 with August. Hopefully next week we can get some real bossing, have some real drops to record. Until then, you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you then.